Hi, everyone. I'm Amy Zellmer, and I'm here today with my assistant, Emily. And I just want to show you guys a few simple tips on keeping your hips safe in a couple of basic yoga poses. We're going to show you tree and warrior one today. So I have Emily here to demonstrate. So a common thing I see, even with very experienced yogis, is the hip pop. And over time, the hip pop can cause hip damage. So the earlier we can start correcting it, the better. So Emily, first I want you to not properly come into a tree pose.
All right.
And you can see how she's popping her hip out on this side. Her hip should come in. Can you engage?
Yep, I can.
So your hip should remain in, and see now how her leg is a nice straight line. And then you can release. And then you can do the other side so that you're not uneven.
Yeah.
But that hip pop is so common, and it just pops out. And go ahead and come back down. And one of the ways to, if you've been doing yoga for a while, you may have already started this bad habit. And so we need to get out of that bad habit. And that's going to be by simply bringing your legs lower. So to properly come into tree pose, you want to get in a strong mountain pose. Engage the feet on the floor, the thighs. And then shift your weight to the left. See how when she just shifted, the hip did not pop. And then slowly bring that foot to the thigh. Now, for some of you, you're going to say, I can't, my hip pops. Well, we have to work on rebuilding that strength. And so that might be bringing it just to your calf, your shin, or even down here to the floor, if that's where you're at. You need to work on shifting. And some of you will start getting right about here and it'll pop out. And so we need to work. It's all about rebuilding that muscle memory if you've been doing it incorrectly for a while. But we want to correct that habit because over time you're going to have hip problems and nobody wants that. So now we'll do a warrior one. And so in warrior one, both hips should be facing the front of the room. And if you have someone to help adjust you, this is a great adjustment to rotate that thigh in. That helps. You have no choice but to bring that hip back forward. And then I'll give her a little adjustment from the front to get her a little deeper, but keeping that knee over the ankle, but keeping those hips to the front. Okay, you can come down. And I'll let you do the other side so you're even. Why don't you turn to the front and do it facing the camera for them? Yeah.
Try opening that.
Yeah. And then again, keeping those hips to the front. The hips should be square to the front of the body. Perfect. Okay, come back up. And then I'm also going to show you why it's important to sit on a prop on the floor. So I'm going to have Emily come to the floor in an easy cross-legged position. And I'm going to let her bring your arms up just a little so we can see. So if you look, she is slightly anterior rotated. That means her tailbone's coming up and her hips are going forward. And that's super common for most of us from sitting all day. A really easy way to correct that is to put a folded up blanket. And see now, she's perfectly neutral. And so to sit for an extended, you can put your hands on, to sit for an extended period of time, whether you're meditating or we're doing some shoulder rolls and warming up, you want to have a rolled up blanket, or you could use a block or a pillow, a firm pillow. There's a lot of options that you can put on your sit bones. But that's going to take a lot of the relief off your low back and also off of your hips if you have tight hips. For some people, sitting in easy cross-legged can be challenging, but by simply getting some elevation, getting the hips a little higher than your knees, takes the pressure off those hips. You could also use a bolster if you want to get up even a little bit higher. The higher you go, the more comfortable it is on your hips. So I hope that you enjoyed these quick, easy tips to help keep your hips safe.